Kelly.
Hi, Maeshni. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Okay, my first question to you is how did you get into theater, film, and radio?
Okay, this is a question I get asked all the time, and
Oh,
I think everyone knows the answer now. I started way back when I was seven, eight, around that. No, seven. My dad enrolled me in drama school. And because he was an educator, he obviously wanted his kids to be articulate and well
oh,
spoken and, confident. So he enrolled me in drama school, but unfortunately, a few months later, he passed on.
oh.
And we took a break because obviously my mom having three kids and not actually knowing what to do, being in that depressive state. So we took a year off, and then after a year, she decided, you know what, my dad wanted us to do this, and she then enrolled us back to classes. And I obviously absolutely loved it and took to it. My brother and sister were dragged there, and they did not enjoy it much, and it it shows now because they are in corporate and business, and Maeshni is the creative and the actress and whatever. So I think it stems there. And I absolutely loved it. So I continued with my drama classes when I was little. I went on to
Oh,
doing it in school as a specialized subject, and then went to university and did it in university, and then taught it. And it's been a part of my life ever since. I think after I matriculated and I started university, I was doing a lot of community theater shows and comedy shows and stuff like that, where I was just trying it out because I was new, I was very young, I was still in university. And yeah, then it grew and I got cast in more roles and theater productions. Then my first, local movie, and then it's ever since then it's snowballed into what it is right now. So I teach it. I done theater, I've done radio, I've done all the movies, and I'm still carrying on. I hope that it's going to be for a long time to come.
who
Yeah.
are the people that you look up to in these spaces in terms of the film, theater, and radio?
Hey, I've got to say that in every in every part of being in the dramatic arts, and in this industry, you've got different people that you look up to. When I started theater, it was all the local actresses and actors that actually had me going, and I was like, I want to do stuff with them, and I want
Mm.
to be like them. But it actually stemmed from a teacher that I had in, when I was in primary school, that cast me in a play called The Modern Cinderella. And,
Oh,
he said to me, I see you playing the role of the mother, the stepmother, and, because she's a strong character and whatever. So I took on the role, and firstly, I was sad because I couldn't be the lead Cinderella. And then I was
oh.
like, no, I'm going to take this role. I'm going to do it. And then I think that's where the passion and love for it, because this teacher actually saw something in me and said, you know what, you have the theater presence or the stage
Mm.
presence, and I want you to do this. So I really enjoyed it and I loved it. And I think that's where my career spanned, or my theater stuff took off. And then I was teaching, and I had an interview while I was teaching with Lotus FM radio station in Durban, and for the SABC, and I got interviewed to do radio drama on the station. And then I worked with Raisa Mohammed. I've worked with Caroline Smart, the late
Oh,
Clinton Marius, all very inspirational people, legendary people in the radio industry that were there for me and actually mentored me to to do the radio stuff. And yeah, and I get a lot of times people ask me why don't I do my own radio show, and I always say, you know what, I don't know, maybe one day, maybe someday, maybe soon, I'm not sure, but I enjoy the radio interviews, and I like. I mean, if you have the right person in studio to communicate with, then the
Mm.
chemistry is amazing, and you can do magical things on radio with the right person. Yeah, and film, it's been different people, it's been different directors. We look up to our favorite Hollywood and Bollywood stars, but there's so many legendary people amongst us that have made their mark in the film industry, and that have done great things. And I got the privilege of working with a female director in my last movie, Keeping Up with the Kandasamis, and she's phenomenal. And it's just amazing to work with her because she's taught us so much, and she's also someone that has made a mark, being a female in the industry. And four movies, well, she's done four movies in the Kandasamy franchise, but she's done others that she's directed. She's working now with Netflix, and she's really an inspiration. And I think even if you're not in front of the camera, but behind the camera, it also it's inspirational to see how much it takes, and how much of we don't realize what goes into filmmaking. And a lot of people, especially youngsters, think it's a walk in the park, and it's very simple, and you just go there and you act crazy. But believe me, it's not that at all. It takes skill, it takes time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears, I always say, and commitment to the art, and really being committed in terms of your part in the movie, as well as doing your research in terms of being a team player on set, and all of these things that make a good artist.
So, what has been your highs so far in this journey of film, theater, and radio?
Sure. It's a difficult question because, as I say, in each in each thing that you do, you've got your highs and your lows. I think, like, for me, being cast in Ronnie Govender, the legendary Ronnie Govender, his play as a lead female was, it was a highlight for me as well, because he is a man that has won many awards and accolades and made his mark internationally and in South Africa. And for him to cast me as one of the lead females in his play was quite an honor for me. And, I was thrilled to play that role. And I got to work with him, and, he's late now. So I value that experience that I had with him. And radio as well, working with all different types of artists, I think absolutely amazing. In film, there's so many in film, because it's like being cast in an international film that I did years back before, when I just started, and it was Florida Road, an international film that had Hollywood and Bollywood actors and South African actors that they shot here. And what makes it special was I played a 75-year-old, and this was a few years back, so they had to transform me from there into a 75-year-old, and it was amazing because you had these amazing makeup artists that transformed you. You sat for an hour and a half to get to looking like an old lady with the latex wrinkles and the gray hair. And to me, it was absolutely fun, and I loved it. Well, the biggest, I think, accolade or highlight for me would have been winning the Simon Sabello Award for lead actress in a South African film, and that was a moment I will never forget. I never believed that I could actually receive that award until that moment. I mean, you're up against the the cream of the crop, the most talented actors in the South African movie, scene at that time. And yeah, and to win that award was really an highlight in my career. So definitely, I think I'm just picking a few because there's so many. But yeah, and also being cast in as one of the leads in Kandasamy was a dream come true, because we auditioned for a whole year, and we
Oh.
honestly thought that, we didn't hear from them, and it was a long process. It was a national audition, and obviously we had to go through the process of being eliminated, and given the final top three and the top five, and shortlisted, and finally being chosen as one of the lead moms was truly unbelievable. And I think it was a dream come true, because it catapulted to where it is now, 4 films later, and on Netflix, being viewed and watched by 190 countries, and getting messages from all around the world saying that we've seen you and we've watched you. And if and now if it shows on DSTV, then we also getting so much of love and so much of appreciation for the movie. And I mean, that is that it to me is it makes my career worthwhile, because to entertain, to bring laughter, and to actually bring smiles to children, to people that are going through a difficult time. And that to me makes all the difference.
So, what have been the lows, if there have been any so far?
Um, whew, yeah, no, they definitely are. The thing is that you audition for, like I always tell the youngsters that are auditioning and stuff, I said, please don't be disappointed if you don't get parts in a movie if you've auditioned. Because I mean, the lows for us is that if you audition for like 10 for the year, and you manage to get 4, I mean, I feel like that is an accomplishment to actually get the 4, because you're not going to get everything you audition for. Obviously, the
Yeah,
directors
yeah.
have a specific look or a character, or a type of expression or feeling or whatever it is that they're looking for. And maybe you don't have the exact criteria or that they're looking for, and they give it to someone else. And because our pool of actresses in Durban, or yeah, well, I would say Indian Durban actresses are so small, then you're getting to be in that audition room, or in that audition list with all of your friends that you work with constantly. But as I said, it is just a matter of having the specific look or whatever it is that the directors are looking for. So maybe some of the lows is like not getting those roles that you really, really want, and but not losing hope. Um, and I think also, in this industry, you got to push, and you're not always going to get this movies where you're going to get the high budget movies that are always out there that you can audition for. You're going to get the ones that are with a smaller budget and a smaller cast, and you'll have to take those, because you have the opportunity to be in something. But as I'm saying, is it's your level of what you accept, and it's also a very difficult industry where you have to work really hard, you really have to push, and you got to make your mark, and then and grow from there and develop your craft all the time.
So, what are your plans for the rest of this year and beyond?
I'm hoping that well, I've got my drama school, so I'm
Okay.
busy with that, and I teach. So I'm busy with my kids and planning for their end of the year concerts and graduation and all of that. But I'm also planning to do like a couple of comedy shows and stuff. I don't know which movies are being shot during the latter part of the year. I heard there are talks of movies, but we don't know yet, because generally we are told just before the movie can be shot. So that being said, we can always look forward to positive things. I think more comedy shows, stand-up comedy. I program direct for for weddings and birthdays and parties, so that keeps me busy. And I
Mm.
also do a lot of charity stuff, so I'm busy with that. I'm going into Women's Month, so I'm busy with a pamper drive for teenage girls to get them to, to just feel special, and to get
Mm.
them a little hamper, and maybe do a little workshop on confidence building and all of those things. So I'm busy with that. And yeah, I just keep myself busy with a lot of things. As I say, sometimes there's not enough hours in the day because there's so much
Mm.
to do. But I try to do as much as I can and wherever I can. And I have a passion for kids and drama and teaching them, just watching a child develop in from being a very closed up and very shy child to being articulate and confident makes me smile and makes me feel very, very it brings so much of joy to my heart, because if I can do that, then I've made a difference in that child's life. And I know going forward that that child's going to be a confident adult as well, and walk into any job situation or whatever it is with the confidence to achieve their goals. And I love meeting my pupils years later and saying to me, ma'am, I'm now a lawyer, or I'm now, I'm delivering speeches in at work for, around the world. So those things make me happy.
Okay, my final question to you is your words of inspiration for the one that wanting to enter the spaces that you were in.
Um, I just, the thing is, you just got to be at it all the time. You got to be passionate about getting into the industry. It is not what it's made out to be, that it
Mm.
is all glamour, glitz, and
Mm.
the red carpet. It is hard work. It is getting up at 4 a.m. in winter months and,
Whoa.
going into getting to set and going into hair and makeup and starting shooting at 6 a.m. And working a full day, or doing a night shoot from 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next morning.
Wow.
It is, it's really giving off a lot of yourself, your time,
Mm.
and your effort, but it's the passion that drives you. If you don't have the passion, then you will never make it in the industry. You got to have a thick skin, and you got
Mm.
to say, I'm going to keep at it and I'm going to do my best no matter what. And I'm going to try out, no matter how many rejections I have, that I'm going to, I'm going to keep at it, because my day is going to come. I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to learn a new skill. I'm going to try
Mm.
something. I'm going to study something, and then have my acting as a backup. So yeah, so it's really being motivated and giving
Mm.
it your all. Get yourself an agent if you can, and yeah, and then try out for extra roles, smaller roles, and then look at how you can achieve your goals of doing the bigger things.
Thanks so much for giving me your time and hopefully the first of many.
Ah, that was lovely. I know I know I've given you a hard time with my hectic schedule, but I'm glad we got it done, and I hope that it was successful, and everybody gets to experience a little bit of me, although all my stuff is everywhere. So yeah,
Thanks so much.
thank you.